Hey there. Alright, this is video number 23, but for module 2 this is going to be video number 7, and we're going to discuss the bulls and bears power. Alright, let's navigate over to our trading station. And what we see on the chart right now is the bears power. Alright, and this is a little bit of a confusing indicator to work with. We have a bear's power and a bull's power, but this is the bear's power right now, and I'll just show you briefly on how we can actually use this. It's a little bit, it's not very stable. Alright, it's not a very stable way to actually produce a buy or sell opportunity from. But in short, the bear's power and the bull's power both have a histogram. Okay, and the histogram is basically these bars here. Alright, and it's separated by the vertical scale. Anything above is positive territory, anything below is negative territory. Alright, and the object here is basically to look for an area in the market where you see these bars are actually below the 0-0 line, which would indicate to go short. And then when the bars go above the 0-0 line, it's to indicate to close out your short trade and go long. But if you take a look by back testing, which is basically looking at the formations that appeared previously to see if patterns basically occur all the time. You know, does it go up when these bars go up? Does it come down when the bars go down? And if it does, by how much? And you can see that the bars are coming down here, but the market hasn't really moved in a downwards fashion. It's basically gone sideways. So if we were to act off this and gone short on it, we sold this currency pair, you know, where do we target to? But there is no concrete evidence to say that this is actually going to reverse and go the other way. Alright, so it's a little bit confusing. And the same is likewise with the bull's power. Just simply left click, drag onto the chart, choose the forest green color. Alright, choose the second thickness from the drop down box, leave it as a period 13 and choose OK. Okay, so here I suppose another way that you could filter out is to take a look at these bars here, and you can see they're actually below the 0-0 line. So if we get the bulls indicator out, we can work out whether or not that this little bit of bar development here at the bottom of the vertical scale, we can take a look at the bull's power and see if this is actually ringing true to go short on this pair. But it's not ringing true because we don't have any bars down below of the vertical scale on the bull's power. So we would essentially just, if we was already going long on this, we wouldn't need to close this trade because of the bull's power is not telling us there's time to close this trade and go short. Alright, eventually it does. I mean, it gets to a point around about here, and then the volume of the bear's power is starting to match up with the bull's power, and it's letting us know to start to get out of the trade. Alright, with that all being fair and well, it's not perfect. Another way we could use line studies and take it from one peak to another, and we're looking for a sell breakout, and we can see here now there's this bar's not touching this line here, so we can go short around about here. How about if we wanted to go long? We can take it maybe from one peak here and push it there, but that's not very good. You really want this one to be much higher, so maybe come over here and make sure it comes in a downwards fashion, and when it breaks clearly we can probably go along here. But again, it's still very sporadic. It's very hard to work out what's going on. Another way would be to use the moving average and apply the moving average to the chart, which is right here. It's right almost down to the bottom. Alright, left click, drag and drop onto the chart, and then go ahead and change your parameter settings. I've actually chose a color style of black, and I've chosen the thickness right here, and I've typed in 13 into the period box, and I've chose MA method simple, and all the levels and visualization remain the same, and click on OK. Alright, and what we need to do here is we're looking for an area in the market where we see this moving average and we want to take a look at its direction. So the first rule of thumb is we take a look at the direction, we can see the direction of the moving average is coming down. Alright. Then we need to take a look at the bears, and the bears needs to be in negative territory, and negative is anything below the 0, 0 line or the vertical scale. Then we need to take a look at the bulls, and the bulls needs to be in positive territory, i.e. above the vertical scale, but the bar that we're looking at needs to be higher than the previous bar. Alright. So here we take a look and we can start seeing it's coming down, and here we can see this is a red bar right here, and then we take a look at the bears and we can see the previous bear is actually higher than the other one. Right, this negative value is actually higher, so that's okay. So now we can actually short that, and the same is true vice versa as well. It's actually looking for a buy trade. And what we're looking for here is looking for the angle of the moving average. You can see the average is moving up here, and then we will take it just at the point where it starts to move up. Alright, and where is it? Right there. Okay, and then what we're looking for here is where this is also in negative, but the value of the bears is getting higher. In other words, it's going from negative into a positive value. Alright, and when it does that, you can go long. Alright, and also making sure that the previous bar on the bulls is actually higher than the other one, and then you can go long. Alright, so that is there. Okay. Alright, this is the trade that we had opened up the other day, and this was based off a double bottom right here, and you can see it's coming through okay. We're around about 137 pips in front right now. Alright, so that's one of the modules that we're going to actually be talking about actually is naked trading, so I think you'll enjoy that. Alright, so that's with this particular, we'll leave this for this particular video. Now, don't mind if you actually skip this particular section of this video. You could actually, let me, actually I'll tell you what I could do. There's an indicator that I found, and it's called the FXI Bears and Bulls Power. Alright, and we just install it the same way as we would install it any other way. Let's go back to, oh, wrong folder. Go into your MetaTrader trading station, then into the experts, then into the indicators, and then what you want to do is paste this indicator in there, and then come over to your trading station and click on this Meta Editor button, the orange yellow kind of diamond shaped button. Click on it, and then this will pop up, and then over here on your right hand side you're going to choose the indicators, twirl it open, and then you'll navigate down to this section here, FXI Bear Bull Power. Double click so it loads into this window. Then at the top you see this compile button, and click on it, and then you'll get this description stuff down the bottom, and it'll say 0 error, 0 warning. Alright, now you can close out of that and then come over to your navigator panel. Alright, you want to close that indicators list to make some more room, open up the custom indicators, and then you'll see the FXI Bear and Bull Power in there. Now when you apply that to the chart, you'll get something like this. Alright, and this indicator is basically telling us when to go long and when to go short based on this moving average, based on this bears and based on these bulls. Alright, so someone out there has made an indicator, but it doesn't have a visual alert. Okay, now this indicator, it doesn't matter what time frame you put it on. Alright, we're not really acting off the 5 minute or the 10 or 15 minute or what have you. Okay, what we're doing is we're going to just leave it on the 1 hour time frame, and in the top left hand corner you will see it says 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute and 60 minutes. Okay, and then next to that you'll see the values, then what we're looking for is these values to all turn positive. Alright, and it doesn't mean when all these show green that it's a buy, and when they all show black it's a sell. It doesn't work like that. Alright, so when all of these three turn positive, alright, I would wait basically for the first bar to remain positive, and then the second bar to remain positive, and then go long. Alright, and positive are represented by the greens, and negative is represented by the blacks, I believe. Alright, because we've got, okay, that's a positive, that's a negative. Okay, so I'm not, maybe these colours mean something a little bit different, but this is another thing as well. When you're using other people's indicators, make sure that you've got the proper instructions for them. Alright, but for the most part, I'm not really sure what these colours mean. I'm sure there's some kind of instruction set out there. The best way to do that is simply just typing in the name of the indicator, alright, and then type in the word manual at the end, and then see if you can get some kind of info back on this. But for the most part, as I say, when all these say positive, go long. When they all say negative, you go short. Alright, okay, this bar's just turned red for some reason, so it's pretty of an interesting indicator. Alright, but try this maybe for a day or so. I wouldn't really pressure you guys to try this one out for 3 days at most. Alright, and then we can move on to the next indicator. Alright, so until then, I will see you very shortly in the next one. Bye for now.